Hey everyone, it's Punquist from Everyone Bound, and today I wanted to make a short video about something I've been thinking about basically since the first Solstice of Heroes that include the EAZ. So back in 2019, Bungie announced the Solstice of Heroes for that year, and replacing the Redux missions that came out last year, came an entirely new space called the EAZ, or the European Aerial Zone. Personally, I think that was one of the best decisions Bungie made. It took the Solstice from a kind of tame, look back review event and gave it its own unique identity, just like every other event had before. For example, Festival of Lost had the masks, Dawning had the gifts and cooking and sparrow racing. But back to the EAZ, one thing I really liked about it was how open and free it was. You are thrown into a relatively large space with multiple buildings just towering over you. But unlike most Destiny locations, this one allows you to traverse every single building completely. Not lying and saying there are like 25 floors to just run through. More so, the areas you usually get invisible walled are now totally available for you to run around in. You can go from the ground floor all the way up to the roof relatively quickly and easily, depending on your mouse and keyboard / controller skill level. This ease of traversal makes the whole area feel way more open, even though it's relatively small compared to other patrol zones or really arenas in general. Like, if I'm being honest, I would spend hours, honestly years, as opposed to larger patrol zones like the EDZ, just for the sheer fact that it just feels more freeing. It just feels more inviting, more open, more fun to run around in. I personally like to relate it to like a single player open world RPG, like Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, really just any open world RPG, pick your poison. It feels a lot like that in my opinion. Anyways, I can see I'm getting off track here. This commentary wasn't intended to be just gushing about the EAZ for however long it ends up being. I also intended it for me to talk about how I'd like to see the positive aspects of the EAZ transferred to other patrol zones. For example, based on pre-release pictures, there will be a Braytech Futurescape / Buried City looking location on Saturn's moon. Side note, it could be related to something else. I'm really just guessing here based on architecture, so I can't wait to be proven wrong in November. And just based off that picture, it looks like it could go hand in hand with this new free-form combat area setup I had in my head related to the EAZ. You see, if Europa was a moon controlled by the Braves, it would most likely look similar to how Mars did in D1, which means it would have multiple large skyscraper-like buildings. Now I'm not asking to be able to scale multiple giant-sized skyscrapers, as I'm sure even the ability to do that would ruin people's consoles and make rendering Europa an absolute nightmare for the devs. By the way, if you couldn't already tell, I'm not a game developer, so I have no idea what I'm talking about, so please correct me if I'm wrong. However, if there were either smaller buildings around the skyscrapers, again similar to Mars D1, or if it was inside like a cavern, which the picture kind of implies it is, at least in my opinion, then we could make these areas around the skyscrapers more traversable and more fun. I'm imagining office buildings that we could run around in, obviously on the ground floors, and then take a fire escape on the sides all the way to the top of the skyscrapers, or at least next to the skyscrapers, so we can look down and see the entire area. You can see where enemies are located, patrol beacons, maybe majors if you need to kill them for bounties or whatever. And these larger locations would help give players a lay of the land easily for new patrol areas, and more importantly to me, make it more fun to run around in and revisit. Really, all I want out of a new patrol area, or new areas of older patrol zones if that's possible, is more freedom to go wherever and climb whatever. I think the golden rule of less invisible walls / death zones the better, as long as it's technically possible obviously, is the way to go. I'd love to see Bungie take a smaller location like the EAZ and really expand on the great parts in the future and add it to other new locations. Obviously though, I'm sure no matter how Europa or any future area ends up, it will still be a quality location with its own quirks and landmarks that'll make it just as fun as any other current location. Sorry for this kind of short video, but I was just playing a lot of EAZ today and it just got me thinking about it and about the future of Destiny in general. But anyways, this is Mr. Punquist from Everyone Bound, signing out. I will see you guys next time.